Welcome back to No Love Garage. I'm Gartrell. I'll be installing a mod on my Porsche 911 that will not only make it sound better, but look better. It's no question that from the factory, Porsche 911 997s can be underwhelming from sound perspective and from looks perspective. If you don't know what I'm talking about, here's a sound clip of what the car sounds like from the factory, no exhaust modifications. This is definitely not what we want from a car that shares the same pedigree as the Porsche 911 GT3 and GT3 RS lineage. So to fix that, today we're going to be installing these Top Speed Pro 1 Performance test pipes, also known as Muffler Deletes. This is going to remove the entire stock factory muffler system, which leads from the cats all the way to these ugly round tailpipes. And thankfully, these Top Speed Pro 1R Performance test pipes actually have quad exhaust tips, which I did not get from the factory because this is a Carrera 3.6. Now, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. If you've already been on the channel for some time, you might have seen the video where I go over everything that I want to do to this car in the future from a mod's perspective and give you, the viewer, the opportunity to weigh in as to what mods actually go in on this car. Now, these Top Speed Pro 1 Performance test pipes were not part of the build. We're actually going to go with a custom center exit exhaust as you guys have recommended. But before we can do that, we need to get the GT3 bumper. So in the meantime, we'll go ahead and install these to delete the mufflers, get some better sound and better aesthetic for this car as it should have been from the factory. Now, these exhaust tips actually look really, really good. The welding looks to be absolute quality. I love that they offer these as a quad tip exit. A lot of the test pipe options out there right now are only the test pipe which connect to your factory exhaust tip. If you have ovals like me, it's obviously not ideal to put a test pipe on those exhaust tips. So the fact that they make these and make them with such high quality is really a plus. And I can't wait to install these and hear the sound that the Carrera can make. So without any further ado, let's get into it and install these on my 911. So in order to remove these mufflers, we're going to remove the 13mm bolts that attach this catalytic converter to this muffler. There's two clamps, 13mm, that hold the muffler to the chassis. We'll remove those. There's one here and there's one up there. We'll remove this brace, which connects the bumper to the chassis. We're going to need to remove it to get clearance to be able to remove the muffler. We're going to take off the left-hand side, show you the comparison between the old factory tailpipe and the new tailpipe that we're installing. And then once we've done both sides, we'll start up the car. We'll be able to show you how it sounds. Now, this is an older car, so you can expect these bolts to snap. You should definitely plan to have either a spare or replacement bolts for removing these catalytic converter to muffler bolts. Be prepared for these bolts to snap on the catalytic converter. Both of ours snapped on this side. It's likely that two will snap on this side. However, Top Speed Performance test pipes come with new clamps. So thankfully, if yours do snap, you should be covered with these. Just so we're clear, when doing this job, we're going to remove these two bolts. These are two 13mm bolts. It's likely that these are both going to snap. So you will be all right if you buy this specific system, which comes with brackets that you will replace and clamp the new muffler tips to. If you don't have that, or your specific mod does not come with clamps, you will need replacement clamps. Be prepared, or you will not be able to get the tips back onto your catalytic converter. Now, to remove the muffler, you're actually going to remove 3 bolts that connect the muffler itself to the bracket to the block. So if you come here and see that, we're gonna remove 3 bolts that connect the muffler itself to the bracket, which is attached to the block. It is way too hard to remove this bracket from the block with the motor still in the car, so you have to remove the muffler from the bracket with those 3 bolts. So there's 1, 2, 3 bolts, and once you remove the nuts on all 3, you should be able to remove the muffler. as well as the bracket that holds the bumper to the chassis. So now we're going to remove the muffler and install the first tip. All right, so there's your muffler out. It is pretty heavy. I want to say somewhere around 35 pounds. So this is weight reduction as well. So we've actually gotten the test pipe on. The muffler is out. So we are saving a lot of weight, and this is what it looks like on the car. And this is what the factory side looks like. I know the car's dirty. Please don't hose me for that. But I think it looks a lot better than the stock. And we've yet to start it up, but I'm sure it's going to sound even better as well. So something to note, we have the test pipe onto the catalytic converter X pipe, but it actually did not fit with just putting the test pipe directly onto the X pipe. What we actually had to do was remove the collar that sits in between these two brackets. It looks something like this. We separated it, it's two pieces, and then we inserted the outside piece in between the X pipe and the test pipe. So basically you see the test pipe here, the collar or sleeve, and then the X pipe itself, and then the clamp that's provided bolts that together. Now once we bolt that up, it's nice, complete, solid, not going anywhere, it doesn't rotate, and that's what you want. If you don't put that on, you will not be able to clamp this to the X pipe and basically will not be able to complete your install. So before we do the other side, I just want to clarify. Before I told you that we should remove this bolt, and there's another here. You do not need to remove these bolts. All you have to do is remove the three 13mm bolts that we're pointing to here, which connect the muffler to the bracket that's mounted to the block. So once you remove those three 13mm, these two 13mm, which will likely snap, remember, have your own clamp, or if your specific application comes with a clamp, you should be fine to reuse those, but you will break these, so be ready, especially if your car is not garage kept. And lastly, we need to take off this brace, which holds the bumper to the chassis. This is a T30, and this is a 10mm bolt up here. And once you've removed those, you should be able to remove your muffler. If you're on the ground, you will likely have to remove your wheel. We have a little bit of extra clearance because we have it up in the air, so we should be good not to remove the wheels. Once we finish the install, we'll start it up and see if this actually made the car sound better. But just looking at the difference between the brand new Muffler Delete and the stock muffler tip, this looks 10 times better already. So let's get finished with this and start it up. Just to give you guys a little bit more context of what we're doing here, the 13mm is the correct bolt size. However, if your car sits outside or has ever sat outside for its life, these bolts are probably rusted through. So what we've actually done is hammered a 12mm socket onto the 13 to give it a little bit more bite. It likely will snap still, and we're gonna show you that here right now, but it's your best chance of getting these off maybe in one piece. So this one decided to come out. We're lucky, but we're not reusing it in this case. So ultimately, just a tip for you guys at home. A good trick. This one was actually coming out, however, it got stuck in the rust of the actual nut. So what we did was tighten it until it snapped. Otherwise, we would have been sitting here spinning our wheels trying to get this bolt to come out. This one, however, I can feel is about to snap. So like I said, we hammered a 12 onto it. It's normally a 13, and it's likely gonna snap when I put enough pressure on it. But like I said, that's okay because we have a clamp. However, if you don't have a clamp with your specific application, you will likely need a new bolt to go through this clamp here. I got it on my side. Pull the bumper back a little bit. Okay. Wow, collecting a lot of rocks on this thing. Again, another 35, 40 pounds. So almost 100 pounds in weight reduction as well. And something else I want to point out, if you know about anything about doing tune-ups or changing spark plugs and coil packs on cars, this car has a flat motor. So you have way more access to do that now, which is a plus in installing muffler deletes. So Now we're gonna install the other test pipe or muffler delete here onto the cat. Again, we're going to remove this collar. There we go. We're gonna remove this collar off of the end of the muffler. Could get rid of this now. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this tip off, spread this, and take out the inner lip. And we're gonna reuse this collar in between the test pipe and the cat X pipe. And that will allow us to fully seat the test pipe on the X pipe. Finally got rid of these USB tailpipes. These USB-C tailpipes, trash, and got these nice, shiny, top speed, performance muffler deletes. That looks so much better. Get this car down on the ground to see what it looks like, and we'll start it up and see if it's way too loud or if it actually sounds pretty damn good. In the back, we had those USB connector tailpipes, but now we got the quad tip exhaust, and it looks so much better. Oh my God. Let's start it up and see what it sounds like.
That sounds pretty good. This is just a cold start, so that's not bad. The car was running a little earlier. Let's see what it sounds like once we get past the cold start stage.
So the car sounds amazing. I love the way it sounds. It is a little loud, but I'm sure that once we get outside of the shop, it's gonna like dissipate when it's not reverbing off the walls inside of a shop like this. I have nothing but good things to say about these test pipes. I'm really happy. We're gonna go get some driving video of it right now. Well, tomorrow. It's raining right now and it's dark out, so get some fresh footage for you guys in the morning, which you guys are not gonna have to wait for. It'll literally be right after this clip. But it sounds really fucking good, bro. This also sets a baseline. When we get this custom center exit exhaust, I actually was thinking if we should ever add mufflers to it at all, or if it should just be a catback system. So this is kind of a good test to see if I like the sound, is the drone too much, and then when we fab up that custom exhaust, I'll either be able to say, hey, let's put cats and mufflers or a resonator somewhere in that system, or if we should just go with a straight catback system similar to what we have with these test pipes. All right, it is the next day. I'm actually on my way back from picking up a mod that I just purchased. We got the 360 mod on the back recording, and I'm just gonna let you guys hear the car, tell you what I think about it, and hopefully, you know, chime in on drone and things like that. But yeah, let's get going. So nice throaty sound on startup. It sounds very throaty. Loudness is moderate. It is loud, but it's controllable, especially when you have a manual. Like if I want to be quiet, I can just be a little easier on the gas and the tone doesn't get exceedingly loud. It sounds a lot better when you open it up. Just want you guys to really hear the car first, and then I'll chat about it a little bit. so we're obviously at 4K RPM right now, so that's why we have drone. But like I said, if I want to get it quiet, and I'm sure that you guys can hear me because I have the mic on, but if I want to bring down noise, I definitely can. So this is me just cruising, 5th gear, at almost 3K RPM, doing about 60 miles an hour, which is typical. The car doesn't sound like it's too much, like it's too loud. Now, this is all going to be personal preference. So at the end of the day, you have to decide what is too loud for your car, or, you know, what you like on a daily basis or whenever you drive this car. But ultimately, I like it. I don't think it's overly loud. I think if we did go with a center exit exhaust, I might put a resonator somewhere in the exhaust, but if there wasn't one, I don't think I'd be upset. The car sounds good. And when you get into it, it's got life now. And I absolutely love that. I'm really happy with it. I think it's a pretty easy install. If you want to get more sound out of your car, it's definitely more feedback. You see, this car definitely sounds way better than the stock. This guy's riding me, man. Jesus. Like, even at a little over 3K RPM, 5th gear, 65 miles an hour, like, it's controllable. I can still have a conversation with my passenger. If I was playing music right now, I'd definitely be able to hear it. It definitely will take some getting used to. Like, if you go from a not loud car and then go into a loud car, like, or a louder car, it's going to take an adjustment period to, like, you know, hearing the sound all the time. I think I'd be able to say if I'm, like, absolutely over the drone after owning and driving the car with the exhaust mod for, like, a few months. That's kind of when, you know, problems start to, like, really rear their head. Like, if something's been incessant and annoying, it really, like, gets to you after it's been repetitive, you know? But right now, absolutely in love with this mod. Wouldn't want to do anything different. I think that the construction of the top speed test pipes, muffler deletes, whatever you want to call them, is definitely well made. The sound is good. It looks way better than the USB-C tailpipes that we had before. And solid product. Top speed, solid product. I mean, you could buy Soul or Fab Speed, which are just elbows, for $600, which is crazy to me. I think that if you, honestly, you probably can fab up a muffler delete on your own. But for those of you who have a Carrera like me with those oval, ugly tailpipes and very, very quiet exhaust, I would go with this option. $390 and a world of smiles. Oh my God, I can hear my car. This is so nice. All right, enjoy the rest of this video, the sound of the car. It's amazing. All right, guys, that is all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this install and listening to the sound of the car from factory and its transformation with these Top Speed Pro 1 performance test pipes. They sound and look really, really, really good. It really does the car justice in making it sound better, feel better, a little bit even more responsiveness, I would say. And ultimately it makes the car look so much better. Quad tips on this mod are absolutely great looking. Way better than the factory ovals that Porsche put on those factory mufflers. Porsche, what were you thinking? But like I said, subscribe, follow me on IG, follow me on TikTok, like this video. It really helps the algorithm. Drop a comment down below whether you think that this is a worthwhile install. What would you do to your Porsche, or what do you think I should have done? Don't forget, we will be installing a different exhaust on this car in the future. If you want to see more installs, more videos, or even have a say in what gets done in this car, go check out some other videos. And I really hope that we see you guys in the next video. So peace out, and see you in the next one.